Okay, I'm live. Give me a second here. Give me a second here. All right. My channel. Okay. All right, now. Hold on. Let me zoom in on the project, and I want to get more in front of it. Let's see how that works. Give me a second, guys. I came back on because I just couldn't sleep. So we are working on the sculpture. Out of your way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now I've had to narrow the nostril flare-outs. Two minutes. You guys there? Anybody there? Oh, I need that mouse. I need the mouse, and I need to put it right here so I can control the computer screen. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab that mouse and I'm going to put it right here. Very interesting. Put that down there for now. It's over here. Now I'm going to have to... Hey, I'm back on, guys. I was having problems with the internet earlier, and it's driving me crazy. London Moore, you out there? Say something. Let me know that you're there. All right. And the internet, it was just crashing on me. It was constantly crashing, and it was terrible. So I was being pointed out that the nostril flares, and they are absolutely 100% right. Pipe Master, who's a collector, and Takeoff Vision, they were both pointing out that my nostril flares were too far out, too wide. So I cut a lot of them down, and now I have to smooth that out and bring it in. And yeah, we are very close to where I want to be. You know, I shouldn't say that. I'm a ways off from getting this thing finished. That's for sure. But I felt like doing something. And you know what? I want the mouse right here. I don't care if it's unplugged. I'll unplug my mouse and I'll be able to control it. Yes, I'll be able to. Manipulate the mouse and the screen. That's as high as that goes. Okay. So I have a screenshot side by side. Yeah, I got some work to do, that's for sure. Let me do something real quick, guys. I'm looking on here. I want to go to the flashback. Oops. Right, I'm going to have to figure that one out. That's for another time. Yes, this is what I need to do. Okay. Come on. Give me a second here. Just trying to get this aligned up right. Okay. Now, text away, guys. Ask some questions. Who's on here? Let me see how many people are on with me. It doesn't say. Three watching. Okay, so I'm sure that you guys are all here. Okay, so I'm working on the lips. I've got my picture of what I'm using to get the mouth perfect. I can tell you what I've done so far with this sculpture, and it's a lot. There's a lot's been done. This was the flashback originally, or not, I'm sorry, Jesus, man. Guess it's getting late. This was the Night Creeper 78 originally, and this is going to be the flashback mask. So that's what I'm working on right now. Right now I'm just trying to find my couple of things that I need to, okay. Just trying to make the marks right on this. Okay. And now I've got to smooth this out over here. Saying hello to everybody. Takeoff Vision. You know what? You've been a lot of help as well. I am going to give you a mask. You're getting a flashback mask. Unless you want a different mask, it's up to you. I will give you a flashback mask, or you can get I can give you my Night Creeper 78. It's your choice. Takeoff Vision, it's getting there. You see what I did? I narrowed this down. See what I did? I narrowed down the and you guys have been so much help. You and Pipe Master. I know you guys are both collectors, and you're probably an artist yourself. And Pipe Master, and I overlooked this. I really did. I overlooked this when I was looking at the picture. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are right. Flare outs were way too wide, and that's because my other mask was not. It wasn't. It was the Night Creeper 78, and this. I didn't take any clay off. I just added to it, and then added more stuff to this to try to straighten this out to make it look like the flashback. So, with that being said, you guys have been a lot of help, and I want to reward both of you guys with this mask when it's in production. I am going to give you a mask. I'm just going to have to give you you'll have to send me a P.O. box or something to send it to you once I have it in production. But you and Pipe Master are going to get a mask, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love it when you guys criticize it, because there's times where you overlook things. You really do. You oversee. You're looking at this, you're looking at that, and then you don't see the simplest things. You're looking at the picture and you're going, oh, the standout thing, like this really made a difference here, and I still have to do a lot to it to fix it, because when I cut this down here, it changes the depth on the back and the roundness of it. You have to make sure that that's rounded. And that's what I'm working on now. So I need to turn this to its side a little bit. And I have to take away from the back side of this. want this as accurate as possible. I'm sorry for blocking my hands here. Hold on, let me read your comment. Takeoff Vision, it's you guys that actually encourage me to do this. I really want to be this. I definitely want to make this. But it's having you guys on and really the criticism. I never take criticism harshly. I don't ever think that at all. Sometimes I'll stand my ground a little bit on certain things, and it's only because when you see the picture, it's almost like the nose. It looked like it was too long, right? And it really isn't. It's actually a little shorter than the actual nose, by probably like a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch shorter from here to here. From here to here, it's like an 1/8 inch shorter than the actual mask nose. I was like, wow, because I had the mask side by side in that picture, as you could see when I showed you that on the and sometimes when you see this mask or when you see the sculpture and you're not here, it might lead to an illusion of something's off, and so far everything is still off on this thing. It's still not right. I'm still not satisfied with this, but I have to figure it out, and it's little things that keep changing your perspective of this. You know what? I gotta figure out how am I going to cut in the. Oh, I see what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. I need a smaller loop tool. Yeah, well, now we're getting there. Okay, now that's starting to look better. Hold on. Yes. Oh, yes. That's been the problem all this time. I think it's now getting it right on this side. It's going to be another. All right. So what I have to do here is I have to turn this on an angle so I can see that this is rounded. This has to be round. bigger loop tool to smooth it out. Get those to blend the shape together again. Okay. Now I'm going to that looks a lot better. Yes, indeedy. Let me try to round out and smooth out this area. You know, Takeoff Vision and Pipe Master have been along this journey for quite some time with me, and yeah, both of you guys have real good eyes. And there's no two ways about it. Because, like, you know, it was you that discovered that, you know, that pointed out this nose flare out. First, don't take it wrong, because sometimes I'll go, okay, wait a minute, I misunderstand what you're talking about. I'm not sure where you're taking me here. And then I'll go, oh, you're right. That doesn't look right. You know, you have to. It's hard to. It's like me trying to explain how to sculpt this. It's so hard to explain how to sculpt this, because you're using your eye, and I'm a firm believer in having more than just one set of eyes on something like this, because you can overlook things. Anybody and everybody that's real good, even if you're real good, you can overlook something real. And I'm not that. I've only been doing this for 3 years in clay. You know what I mean? I've sculpted and I've whittled, but the majority of the work that I did was stuff that wasn't like, I wasn't replicating anything. And there's a huge difference when you're replicating things. When you're trying to copy an exact replica of something that's already been done, that is so difficult, man. It is not easy. Um, Especially when you've only been doing it for 3 years. So when I have an extra set of eyes on this thing, and because every artist will tell you, they'll get to a point and then they have to step away. They have to, all right, I'm locked. I don't know what I'm doing here. Where am I at? What's going on? How come I'm seeing something, or I'm not seeing something, and it doesn't look right? What is the problem here? An extra set of eyes at that point, especially, really helps a lot. Especially when they have a really good keen eye and they know the difference between the the accurate mask versus the not so accurate. So my gift to you guys is, when this thing's in production, probably in late summer. That's my guess. I'm sending you. You know what? Screw it. I'm sending you both my flashback mask and my night creeper. It's not going to hurt me one way, a little bit, because, you know, it's one of those things where the material doesn't cost that much to make the mask. This is where the work comes in. This is where the work comes in. When you guys come on, you sit on here with me sometimes 3, 4, 5 hours. I'm like 4 hours. I would say 5 hours. I don't think I've ever been on that long. Maybe I have. But when I'm on that long and you're on there with me the entire time, that's worth something to me. You know what I mean? That is really worth something to me. And then for you guys to be that dedicated and be here, I'm sorry. You're getting a mask. You're getting 2 masks. You're getting the 78 and you're getting this here. And it'll be finished to completion of both masks. You'll have hair, paint job, the whole 9 yards, and it's my way of saying thank you for all your extra eyes and all your dedication of being on my channel all the time, and helping me all the way through my journey here. And I am dedicated to making this mask as best I can. You know, I'm a long-time Michael Myers fan, Halloween fan, and I saw the movie. I was only 16 years old in the theaters, and always kind of like, at the time, I think the actual William Shatner when the movie came out in '78, the William Shatner, I won't say William Shatner, the Star Trek mask, the Captain Kirk mask it was becoming very scarce. It wasn't available like it was. Not a problem, Takeoff. You know, if Pipe Master was on us, I'm sure he would agree with me. You guys have been dedicated, and I like the way you guys communicate with each other, and I like it when I see somebody say, you know, this is not quite right, and then the other guy backs it up. Pipe Master backed you up. He said, yeah, you're right. Those nostril flare outs weren't right, and he's done that several times, and that's why I say, you know what, you guys deserve. And it's not just because of your extra eyes. It's also because you're so dedicated on being on my channel all the time. And you do watch my progress as I learn this thing. I have no ego. The one thing about being a disc jockey through all these years, I've always, and I know it's jumping ship here, but what it has taught me is egos really kind of sink your ship. You know, if you got a big ego, you're never going to succeed in anything that you do. You know, it's okay to have confidence, but you can't let your ego get in the way of that confidence either. You have to balance that. You know, I'm not a very egocentric kind of guy, and I take criticism. It's constructive criticism that I listen to. I don't listen to somebody just bash. You know, just to be mean, or, you know, that's just not. I'll tune somebody out like that in a heartbeat. But you know what? I still give them their voice, because, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I got nothing against that. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is. It's a good thing. It's a really good thing, I think. Now I got to smooth this out. This is going to be fun doing that because it's of where it's located at. It's almost there now. The nostril was definitely a problem. But as you see, making that change, it brought on all kinds of new problems, like the depth of the back of the nose and getting it rounded again. By scraping that down, it pulled this too much forward. I had to dig into it to get rid of that depth. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to wet this a little bit with the brush. I don't want it to run too much. And I'm also going to wet the other side. Let it sit for a few seconds. Let it get softer. So what do you think? Does that look better to you? Does that look a little more accurate? Yeah, these bristles are coming apart on me. Does that look a little better to you? Take off vision. Don't be shy, guys. Okay, I just saw it pop up out of the corner of my eye. The monitor is right over here to me, over to the right of my my sculpture. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw something respond. So I gotta. Now see, I have a really strong bristle brush. Now this brush, I got them at Harbor Freight, and I cut them off, and they're actually chemical brushes, and they got really stiff wire. You know, it's a real stiff brush. All right, so. Now I just went to Home Depot and cut up a small, one of the big sponges, the kind you use for, what's the name of it? Tile floors. The sponges you can use to do a tile floor. I just picked up one of those sponges. Yeah, there's still some smoothing to do on this, that's for sure. Let me read your comment real quick. Give me a second here. I gotta fix this now, which is better. Oh my God, this just straightened out this whole mask. Thank you so much, Takeoff Vision, because what you just did is fixed my pitch on my nostril flares. I can't begin to show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I can. All right, you see how high up this flare is right here at the top? Now I can bring it down to the nostril and keep the pitch the same. All right, but now it brings it in down. It lowers this top end, and the reason why I want this lower is because I don't want the face to look like it's being stretched, elongated, and in order to succeed in that, these flare outs, these cheek flare outs here, or I don't know what you want to call them, indentations or whatever, they have to be a little bit lower where the top of the nostril is, and then about the same angle. The angle stays here. It's up here that's going to change a little bit, and that's going to make it look so much better. Oh, it did fix a lot, more than you realize. It fixed so much. I'm looking at it now. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, it did. Um, yeah, that this here, the top of this. You see where this see how that's coming in up over top of that uh, nostril flare out in the back side of this, where that little hook is. This has to be lowered down, even to the top of that, and then come in. Yes, sir. I don't know that I can do it yet because I just put that. I just put the. It's got to harden a little bit first, so I can before I can fix that. No, this mask is going to be banging. I'm telling you, this is going to be a really good mask. Now, what I want to do now, since I'm not really doing anything, is I want to fix this chin. This chin. Doesn't look rounded enough, like right in this area. It needs to come in literally rounded right in here on both sides. Yes. See what I'm doing there? That's really giving this right here the proper indentation. This side is so different. I've got to fix this side too. There's too much clay right here. Pretty crazy. It doesn't take much adding or subtracting to completely change the look of this mask. It really doesn't. Or sculpture or whatever. To change the look of the Michael Myers is such subtlety. It really is. It's all about subtle. And this is still too not round enough right in here. So to make it look natural, all these edges all have to blend back in perfectly. They can't have any hard lines. You can't have hard lines. That's the hardest part. Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about this because this little, I'm just trying to test this area to see how hard it's getting. Um, Pretty soon, I start getting to the point where the sculpture starts really getting smooth and taking on the look that I'm looking for. You know, I got a lot of work to do underneath this chin area. I really do, because I caked on a whole bunch of clay under here and along here. A lot of work. A lot of work has to be done yet. Let me see what you're saying there, Pipe Master. Or Pipe Master, sorry. Take off vision. It's late. I can't sleep. I tried to sleep. I can't sleep. I started getting this in my head. I appreciate that takeoff vision. I love Nick though, I really do. He's a good friend, and he's really helped me a lot. There's been questions I've asked to him, and he's really helped me. So I could never say anything wrong about his. He's got a. I did tell. I think I did say to him that I thought that the 13 looked absolutely amazing, dead on. But as soon as you look at it from the side, it looked very flat. Now, I'm not, God, please, Nick, don't take that as harsh criticism. It's not. I just think it's such a it is so difficult to make this mask. It really is. And I don't care how long you've been doing this. I just feel like, now I've whittled in wood. And when I've done ducks and birds and you know, the first thing is perspective that you have to nail. And when I say perspective, is angles, like making sure that the angles are all right. The hardest part about doing something like this is because we're going off of two-dimensional pictures. You know, you're looking at one, all right, let's say you take one, you got one picture, it gives you the angle like this, all right? And then the next picture, it's like you don't get the full thing. If I could take a picture like that, I could see the perfect angles of everything, you know. But we're stuck with, like, in the movie shots, if we're really trying to go for the screen look, the screen used mask, we're very limited to what angles that are available to us. If somebody actually has, it wasn't until, and I'm going to say this straight out, it wasn't until I've got that William Shatner life cast that gave me a total, real understanding of the shape of the face. That really, because even with the pictures that I have up in front of me here, they're two-dimensionals, but now I have a really good understanding of how the face is supposed to be shaped. So now it's just a matter of trying to really hone in. Now this is different because the flashback, the shape of the head is completely different than the original mask. It's different. It's more square. The head's more square. The original mask is more egg shaped. It's got an egg. It's a little bit narrower up here on the top of the head, and the jawline comes out a little more. So what I did to this, which is not on screen, I didn't video it, I took away a lot of the jaw down in here and then put more clay up top on the head. Problem was, when I took too much away from here, and it looked too narrow, and it made the face look real elongated. So I thought, okay, I'll throw a little bit more back on the jaw, which fixed the problem. But then I realized the reason why this looks still too long is because the cheek lines were still too steep down this way. They needed to be further out this way, and that made the face look shorter. It's hard to explain, but boy, it really makes a difference. And my short-sightedness of not was paying attention to this, paying attention to this, and this, and this, I overlooked this, the simplest thing that's right in front of my face that's on that mask. The flare-outs were absolutely, the nostril flare-outs were an oversight, just complete oversight. And boy, by fixing that, it fixes this line, and you're going to see it now because it's hard enough. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Only need a little bit. Okay. Need to warm this up in my hand just a little bit. You see what I did here? I kind of leveled this off, and I brought that crack, I'm going to call, I don't know, what can I call this? The flare out, the frown expression, the frown. Yeah, the frown on the cheek. I brought it in and tucked it in. I went from here. I need something I can really point with so you can see it. I went from up here and I dropped that line to here and then brought it into this cheek line. So I brought it from up here down to here, and it brings it in perfectly. And then, wow, just that much of a difference. It really does change the way this looks. And now I just want to blend it. All I'm doing here is, as you know, I'm going to lower that. What do I do with my clears? A little too much off there, but that's okay. Yeah, it's still not quite cured enough. That's what's going on here right now. I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow to really fix this. Let me take a look. Yeah. Remember, these lines are very, very subtle. They're not, it looks shadowy because of the light, but the shadow is not really that present, or the deepness is not really that deep. It might be like a 16th of an inch deep is it. I'm digging this right here. Don't want any hard edges. They gotta be subtle. You'll see now. Yes, that's a real subtle edge, but it's prominent. The closer you get to the nose, the more prominent that edge is. Now take a look at that. Let's do a little. Let's do a little texturing here. Too much. Too much. I know it's late, guys, but I can't sleep. I don't know what else to do. What am I going to do? You know, I can't complain about it. I just gotta. Sucks getting older. It really does. You don't sleep as good as you used to. You're sporadic at best. Oh yeah. Take a look at that. Damn. That's looking a lot better. That's looking a lot better. Now I gotta do the same thing on this side. I gotta bring it in just a little bit. Damn it. Just a little tiny pinch of clay. That's all I'm using. It's just this little pinch of clay. I'm not bringing in up the top of this thing. I'm bringing it in. You'll see. You see how the top of this line? Hold on, let me get this. Something that points. See how this ridge line goes up and it looks like it's going up behind and up top here? All right, we're going to change that pitch line. And what I mean by that is I'm making a worm of clay like that. Okay, and I'm going to stick that in right here, right at the top of this. But I want it to stay on the exact same line that I had. Now I'm pushing it down like that, and now I'm going to smear it back this way. Now, I don't know if this is somebody, I didn't learn this. I learned everything on my own. I learned some things from people, but most times my techniques are my own. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take away the surface of that extra clay now. don't know if you can see how thin that layer is, but it's really thin. Now what I'm going to do is take my little round ball peen, I call it my ball peen, and I'm going to, oh, this is a little bit too, so I'll do my finger first. And now, I want to take the bigger end of this, blend that in, just so, very slow. Now what I noticed is I put a little too much push, and I pushed it in up against the nose too much. So what I want to do is find that tool, just dig out that little spot there. Not much, but try to keep it even with the rest of this. Now, the next thing I'm doing is I'm looking at both of these sides to make sure that they're exactly the same height. And they do. They came in at the same height. Now, I'm going to take the sponge. Still not quite round enough for me yet, but it'll get there. There's some height in here that's just a little too high, and that's no big deal. But I gotta let that dry now. I can't let that. And I'll show you what I'm doing now. How much better does that look, guys? Nope. Let me get more straight at the camera. It's a little too narrow right up here at the top of the nose, so all I have to do here is, where's my little tool that I just had in my hand? Right here. Take my little friend, this is soft, that's why I'm kind of like a little bit hesitant on using. Looks a lot better. But I need it to be a little cleaner. And trying to get into this is not exactly fun. Okay, that's better. Must have scratched the nose here too somehow, some way. Oh, you know what that was? A piece of hair from my brush. Got that out. Okay. All right, now that will do you. Don't need a lot. It's the one thing that Nick always says. He works with crumbs of clay as he starts getting closer to the finish line, and I agree with him. I really do. You know, I can't. I gotta respect a guy that's been doing it for years. I come along after only 3 years, and all of a sudden walk away. Is it better? Nah, I'm not better. Not by far. You know, it could be just that one sculpture that might be off on him. You know, I mean, come on, why isn't that coming out of there? Must have rubbed that in there good. Like I said, this is not easy. This is not an easy sculpture. Anybody still on with me? Who else is there? 2 watching, and that's 1 person besides myself. Say hello, guys. Let me know that you're still there, because I'm not going to be on much longer. I just wanted to make sure that I mean, this was bothering me, so I was kind of like, okay, let's get this taken care of here. It's funny when somebody says something and you know they're right, and then you sit there and you go, damn it, I got to fix that. I got to fix that. I've got to fix that. Cool, Takeoff Vision. Cool. Are you a late nighter? Do you usually stay up real late at night? I'm all over the place. I can't really say that I'm a late nighter every night. I'm all over the place. I sleep when I can. I work when I can. And this whole area here still needs to be smoothed out a lot. All right, Takeoff Vision. Good night, buddy. And I think you're the last one on. It's only me and myself. And once you're gone, that's it. It's only me watching now. So I think a lot of people are already in bed. But I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. That was the main thing. So you have a wonderful night. And like I said, you're getting 2 masks, buddy, for helping me out so much. And I love your criticism. Keep it coming. So good night. Sleep well. See you on the next vid. See you on the next stream. Good night.
What you doing?
I'm working on this sculpture. Getting there. I'm getting close.
That smells awful.
I'll have to shut that door because I can't. Wrapping up for the night.
Okay.
All right, I'm wrapping up. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a night. There was nobody on, and that's why I wasn't really talking. But we're getting closer and closer as the time goes on. It's just going to take time, guys. That's all. Flashback 78 from Halloween Kills.